Have you ever looked at a map of the American Southwest, or maybe just caught a glimpse of an Arizona license plate and wondered, why is it called the Copper State? I mean, it's a nickname you hear all the time, right? But the story behind it, wow, it is so much more than just a clever marketing slogan. We're talking about a story of deep geology, serious human ambition, and honestly, the very foundation of our modern world. For over 150 years, an entire century and a half, this single, incredibly versatile resource has literally been the beating heart of Arizona. It's driven the economy, it's drawn the borders, it built entire communities from scratch, and it shaped the state's development in ways you probably wouldn't believe.
Okay, let's dive into this explainer and unpack exactly how one specific metal came to define an entire state and why that legacy is just as absolutely vital today as it was over a century ago. Welcome to the Copper State, Arizona's industrial heritage and mineral wealth.
Here is our roadmap for today. Number 1, millions of years in the making. 2, the Great Copper Boom. 3, Arizona's historic mining towns. 4, modern mining and production. 5, powering our modern world. And finally, 6, visit the Copper State.
All right, Section 1, millions of years in the making, the geological origins.
So Arizona didn't just, stumble into being a copper powerhouse by pure luck. The state was fundamentally blessed with a ridiculous abundance of copper ore, and we literally have millions of years of extreme geological activity to thank for that. Long before we were ever in the picture, violent ancient volcanic eruptions and the slow, grinding shift of tectonic plates were doing all the heavy lifting. Imagine it like a giant geological crucible. We're talking temperatures soaring over 1,000 degrees Celsius, naturally creating and concentrating massive deposits of copper deep beneath what would eventually become the state's rugged mountains and vast deserts. And if you look closely at the geography, these deposits aren't scattered randomly. They're highly concentrated, mostly in the southeastern and central parts of the state. Unsurprisingly, that is exactly where some of the biggest copper mines on Earth are still operating today.
Moving on to Section 2, the Great Copper Boom, from early tools to industry.
Now, human history of copper in Arizona goes way back, and it definitely didn't start with heavy machinery. Long before European settlers arrived, Native Americans were already utilizing this stuff. They'd find naturally occurring copper right on the surface and shape it into practical tools and really beautiful ornaments. But as for the true explosion of the industry, the massive, large-scale mining, well, that didn't really kick into high gear until the late 1800s. You might be wondering, why then? 2 words for you: access and demand. When railroads started aggressively expanding their web across the American Southwest in the late 19th century, it became infinitely easier to haul that heavy ore out of the desert and into booming factory cities. And honestly, the timing couldn't have been more perfect. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing, and demand absolutely skyrocketed. Practically overnight, the entire nation desperately needed copper for widespread electrical wiring, indoor plumbing, heavy machinery, the whole shebang.
Which brings us to Section 3, Arizona's historic mining towns. Boom towns, and the 5 Cs.
Okay, to really wrap your head around Arizona's early economy, you have to know about the 5 Cs. For generations, the state's economic foundation rested heavily on copper, cattle, cotton, citrus, and climate. So the crucial point is, out of all 5 of those, copper was the undisputed king, no question about it. Throughout the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the copper industry was the ultimate economic engine. It provided thousands upon thousands of jobs, and single-handedly fueled the rapid growth that allowed Arizona to thrive in the first place.
And look, where there are thousands of jobs, towns are going to follow, right? These rugged mining camps seemingly popped out of the desert dirt overnight, evolving into legendary, permanent boom towns. Take Bisbee, for example. It transformed from a rough-and-tumble camp into one of the absolute richest copper communities in the world. Today, it's famous for a vibrant historic district and a really thriving art scene. Then you've got Jerome. This place is wild. It's a spectacular former boomtown literally perched right on the side of Cleopatra Hill, which totally reinvented itself into a major tourist destination. There's also Globe and Ajo, which both hold incredibly rich histories of southern Arizona copper production. Oh, and we definitely can't forget Morenci. Morenci isn't just a historical footnote, actually. It remains home to one of the largest active copper mines in all of North America today.
Up next is Section 4, Modern Mining and Production, Extracting the Red Metal Today.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is we aren't just talking about a relic of the past here. Today, Arizona absolutely still dominates domestic copper output. Get this, they supply roughly 2/3,
a staggering 67% of all the copper produced in the entire United States. That makes this single state an incredibly critical pillar for our entire nation's manufacturing and tech sectors.
And getting it out of the ground today? Well, it relies on a highly advanced, massive-scale operation. We're way past the days of dudes with pickaxes. First, gigantic heavy equipment carves out these massive open-pit mines to extract the raw ore. Next, they take those huge chunks and crush them down into much more manageable pieces. From there, it goes through some pretty complex chemical processing to strip away all the waste rock. Finally, refineries step in to purify those remaining minerals into 99.9% pure copper. And from there, it's shipped out and used literally all over the globe.
Section 5. Powering our modern world. Why copper matters now.
To truly understand its value, we kind of have to look at its fundamental properties. Copper is, without a doubt, one of the most versatile metals on the planet. It's highly conductive, meaning it's fantastic for both electricity and heat. It's incredibly corrosion resistant, so it lasts a really long time without breaking down. And crucially, it is infinitely recyclable. You can use it over and over again. Those three traits combined make it an absolutely essential, totally irreplaceable material for modern life.
You literally see its impact everywhere you look. In our everyday lives, it's hidden right behind our walls in our electrical wiring and plumbing systems. It's what makes your air conditioning unit and your home appliances run efficiently. But it's not just about standard construction anymore. Copper is absolutely driving the technology of our future. I mean, the smartphone or computer you're probably using to watch this explainer right now, it's packed with copper. And as we shift toward a greener future, the demand is just going through the roof. Electric vehicles actually require up to 4 times as much copper as standard gas-powered cars, not to mention the massive amounts needed for high-efficiency solar panels and those towering wind turbines. As renewable energy and electric transport keep expanding globally, the world's reliance on Arizona's copper is only going to skyrocket.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 6, Visit the Copper State.
The coolest thing is, copper isn't just some abstract concept out in Arizona. It's tangible history you can actually walk through today. You can literally head underground on the Queen Mine tour in Bisbee to feel the gritty reality of what early mining was like. Or you can take in the spectacular sweeping views at Jerome State Historic Park. From the fascinating rotating exhibits at the Arizona Mining and Mineral Museum to the beautiful Boyce Thompson Arboretum, which is situated right near historic mining camps, these destinations give you a real-world window into the people, the evolving tech, and the massive industrial heritage of the state. It's an awesome road trip, for sure.
So as you can see, Arizona's nickname is clearly not just a catchy phrase. This metal built the railroads, it grew the towns, and it provided jobs that shaped entire generations. And right now, as you're finishing this explainer, Arizona stands as one of the most critical sources of this metal on Earth. Which leaves us with a really fascinating thought to ponder. As the global demand for electric transport and cutting-edge renewable energy surges to unprecedented heights, is the copper state uniquely positioned to power humanity's next great technological revolution? It certainly seems like the future, just like the past 150 years, is painted in a very distinct shade of copper. Thanks so much for learning with us, and we'll see you in the next explainer.